So, after 15 years, the new King of the Hill reboot just dropped. And I mean, it's fine. It's not bad, but it definitely doesn't hit the same as the originals. You know, it says a lot about the show when the only character to have improved in any tangible way is Peggy Hill. She really has aged like fine wine. There's something uniquely irritating about a 30-year-old with boundless ignorance and unearned confidence. But somehow, when those same qualities come from an aged 70-year-old woman, they feel disarmed. The arrogance becomes quirky, the delusion becomes endearing, and the flaws start to feel forgivable. But you know what isn't forgivable? Episode 9, No Hank Left Behind. But before we get into that, I just want to introduce a concept I call MacFarlanization. I know you've all heard of flanderization, a phenomenon where a character has their spectrum of actions reduced and their traits simplified until these simplified character traits become their entire character. Well, MacFarlanization is a phenomenon I've noticed in recent years where all adult animated comedy shows kinda just take jokes and situations from Seth MacFarlane's two most popular shows, American Dad and Family Guy, and will overlay their own characters into the scene. It kind of reminds me of convergent evolution. You might not start out as a crab, and you might not intend to become a crab, but as you keep selecting for traits that work, and all these are the same traits that belong to the crab, eventually you become indistinguishable from a crab. And I realize now that Rick and Morty's come out, we actually have two flavors of adult cartoon to pick from, but that's the issue. These animators, these showrunners, are picking from two flavors instead of making their own show. Back to the main focus, episode 9. This episode cold opens with the three sons of Cotton Hill receiving a settlement from a company that was selling hot sauce as shin growing cream.
I rubbed that gunk into his stumps every night. We thought the burning meant it was working.
This is our first look at Hank's younger half-brother, Good Hank. This is the typical depiction of this generation of teenagers that cartoon uses. You know, all he knows is play on his phone, eat hot chip, and all that. Good Hank's shown as rude, uninterested in the real world, and we're told he doesn't have a male role model.
He's always ignoring me, locked in his room on his computer. He needs a positive male influence in his life. Hank, please. Can GH stay with you for a little while over summer break?
Hank, do not look at Good Hank as a teen. Honey, he is your brother.
Fine.
So, Hank reluctantly agrees to spend time with Good Hank, and this is where we're introduced to the most out-of-place character in Island, Texas.
Okay, well, let's see then.
Hey man, if you're watching this, you're probably feeling purposeless and weak.
Like, I don't even really know what to say about this. It's clearly meant to be like an Andrew Tate, Wes Watson style caricature of a person, but for some reason they've conflated it and added a Joe Rogan vibe, which is so weird because I feel like they don't even really preach the same things. They're just both vaguely right-leaning politically. I don't know. I guess Joe Rogan did move to Texas recently, so maybe that's what inspired the Rogan vibe to this. So Hank and Good Hank sign up, and we get this cringe little American Dad style skit.
Excuse me, a light breeze blew off my ascot. Did any of you see it?
No, this is a gathering for men. But wait, we must help our weak, pathetic, emasculated brother, because that's what men do. Do you know the 4 F-bombs?
Family, faith, fitness. Damn! What's the last one? Oh yeah!
Finances!
Whoa!
This then leads us into the Wolf of Wall Street salesman scene.
Most of us are in financial trouble from either working under a female or a beta instead of investing and starting our own businesses.
Bruh. They they put the beta meme in King of the Hill. This whole episode has felt like it's written by some boomer Seth MacFarlane. But this meme alone, being here, hey, maybe they got some young hot fire on the squad.
You're all broke, but I can fix that. Today, we're learning how to grind. You have an hour to pitch products and or services to each other and flip those $5 into 20. Let's see who's got that dog in them.
You game?
Yeah. I'll teach you to get rare Valorant skins for $250.
Keep talking.
$250 for the skins? Not bad. How much is the meat?
This reference to Valorant skins feels so out of place in an episode of King of the Hill. It feels like a low-effort joke to facilitate the reference itself. I'm almost 100% certain that the setup for this joke was written before the payoff. We skip along to the big reveal. Anjo Taitgen is a misogynist. And we get this really funny American dad joke.
Brothers, I've been struggling a lot recently. Mostly because this girl I really like put me in the friend zone before I got a chance to ask her out.
That's bullshit!
Now, hold on.
Highway to the friend zone. See, nobody ever gets my jokes.
Man, I can't go this whole video without mentioning this guy looks just like Invincible. This is like if Invincible never got his powers. This guy might be Vincible. I know some people would argue that King of the Hill is a product of its time and had to evolve to connect with a modern day audience. But if the show has to stray so far from its core identity, why reboot it at all? If all the stories are wrapped up and you don't have any more compelling stories left to tell, why did we make the show? I think the answer is simple. From the studio's perspective, King of the Hill is a proven, successful property with a nostalgic fanbase. Imagine trying to pitch that against a brand new show with characters no one's ever heard of and no established fanbase. Why would they ever pick a brand new show over King of the Hill? It's just another example of our long-term nostalgia being cashed in for short-term financial gain, resulting in some low-effort 5 out of 10 MacFarlanized slop. Yeah, I liked it, it was alright. If there was really a story here to tell and interesting things to explore, then why didn't we explore them?